Alright guys, Joe here from SimVRlabs, and we're going to do a quick VR walkthrough and tutorial on the MadFlight Studio SP-30. Fantastic aircraft, and just a few things about it. First of all, the yoke works well in realistic mode. The throttle follows the VR controller perfectly. And if you're in VR, all the knobs have been changed from axis to knob. So you can click and twist. Any of these are rotatable, just like you would naturally. You just grab it, rotate it with your wrist, and rotate it back. Real simple. Everything looks and feels very good. And a few things, there's a language pack folder inside your aircraft root folder, and in there, if you speak English and you don't read Russian or speak Russian, you can change that, and it changes some of the sounds, especially for the radios, and also changes all your menus, such as this one. Click right there to English, and then you can change these settings here and read what they actually say. So you got some great settings here. You can save the plane condition every time you reload it. It loads just the way you had it. You can change your gauges here. Watch this. Metric. And I noticed that the metric is actually, if you can handle the metric, it actually is a little bit easier to read in VR. Notice that the numbers are bigger. If you go back to Imperial, a lot of people prefer Imperial, obviously for what it is, but it's a little bit smaller, so it's up to you. Pilots on the external view, visible, invisible, Russian, English, plane shake on or off. Then you just click up here to put it right back there. You click here to open the door, and we'll step outside, and let me show you some really neat things. One of the best things about this plane is the walkaround. It's pretty incredible. If I step out here and look around, first of all, each individual tie down or chalk is an individual thing. So I can chalk these by clicking that, right? And then there's a tie down here that you can actually click up here, or you can click right there, and it puts a concrete little deal down and ties it down. In the back, there's a hoop there, ties down. All of these ailerons and things are flickable and checkable, right? The ailerons and elevators and rudder, it's all good. Over here, there's one where let's see, where's that? Oh, it's up here. I'm on the wrong side. There it is. Okay. And if you come over here, you'll notice there's a hot spot here, and on the other side there's a hot spot here. Anytime you snap to these hot spots, you'll also see a maintenance menu. Snap to the hot spot, there's a maintenance menu. And let me go ahead and change the lighting just a bit here. Try to make it a little better for you. A little easier to see. There we go. And go back here. There we go. That's a little better to see. And if we had any kind of failure, it would list right here, and then it would show you what to do, give you a recommendation on what to do. I can go on the other side, and I can snap to this one, and you'll see the same thing. I've got a menu, and I've got this blue section. Excuse me here. There we go. This blue section is the chemical quantity, 31 liters probably, and then you've got 75 kilograms. That's a man in the pilot's position. 45 kilograms. That's a female. I can click it again. That changes it to a male. I can click it again. It changes it to nothing. 3 kilograms here. 4 kilograms. That's your luggage. Watch this. If I go to 0, there's no bag right in there. If I go to 1 kilogram, there's a bag in there, a duffel bag, and it's got 1 kilogram worth of stuff in it. And I can load that up, right? This yellow, 57 liters, that's how much fuel is in there. Say I want to add some fuel. Well, I can come over here to the fuel tank cap, click on it, And then there is my fuel can. Okay, I can snap back here to my thing, and I can watch this go up as I click and hold that guy. 60, 61, 62. Cool, right? Then when I'm done, you can just put your cap back on. This blue tank here is your chemical tank for your sprayer. See these sprayers? That's a sprayer. You can actually, and the particles are all modeled and everything. It looks incredible for like agricultural fertilizer or whatnot. If I click on it, it goes away, right? And you see it's gone away in the menu. If I click on it again, there it is, and I have I'm ready to spray. Have my whole system ready. Now, let's say we want to do some maintenance on this thing. Well, first of all, another thing that you can do is you can actually grab the prop, click it once, and it spins it. Kind of rotates it. If I click the cone, it puts prop covers on it. Watch this. Isn't that sweet? That's the prop covers for stowage. Click it, take them off. So, say I want to do some maintenance on this thing. Say I have spark plugs out, or I have a fuel filter, or a air filter, or the fuel pump. There's several things on here that you can do. Now here's the engine. It's beautifully modeled, pretty much incredible. Let's say we want to change the oil. You can click on this oil can, it opens up, click on the dipstick, dipstick comes out, and then you can see that I'm pretty clear on my oil. It's not messed up at all. Now if I click the cap on this guy, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's glug glug glugging, which means it's putting oil in there. And I can click on the dipstick, put it back, click on the cap, put it all back away. Spark plugs, I can click on any one of these spark plugs here, this one on the other side. There's that one and that one. You'll hear it change. Oil filter. I mean, it's so stinking cool. It puts a new one on. You got this air filter I could change. You got back in here, there's a inline fuel filter that I can change. I can take that off, put it on, and you can follow the fuel line and see how it all connects to the injector system, whatever that is back in there. I mean, it's just, this thing is awesome. Like, this thing is just so stinking cool. Then I can come back in here, put the cap back on, call it a day. Look on here, make sure there's no failures. And as you step away from this hotspot, remember, you got to be clicked in this hotspot. If you go anywhere else, that menu goes away. Watch, see, the menu's gone. So if you want the menu, you got to be clicked into the hotspot. Okay, now let's jump into the cockpit here. I put the hotspot, the teleport hotspots here for the co-pilot and the pilot. And you can close the doors like this. This is a little vent, right? You can let air in, or you can close the air out. It's just, I mean, everything in here is just super sweet. Feels great, looks great. I mean, watch that. I mean, see the cowl flaps are animated. You see that in the front there? I mean, everything is just, there's radiator flaps and oil flaps. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, guys. I hope you enjoyed this just mini like intro VR tutorial kind of like review.